Good morning, everyone. Today, we will gain some basic knowledge about Code of Criminal Procedure through some basic MCQs. So, without wasting any time, let's start with it. Let's start with the first question. That is, Section 41B of the CRPC states that the memorandum of arrest under this section shall be. Choose the correct option. The options are A. Attested by at least one witness who is a member of the family of the person arrested or respectable members of the locality where the arrest is made. B. Countersigned by the person arrested. C. Either A and B. Or D. Both A and B. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, both A and B are correct. That means to say, as per section 41 of the CRPC, the memorandum of arrest shall be attested by at least one witness who is a member of the family of the person arrested or a respectable member of the locality where the arrest is made and countersigned by the person arrested. Moving on to the next question, that is under section 320 clause 1 CRPC, for knowingly selling or exposing or possessing for sale or for manufacturing purpose goods marked with a counterfeit property mark, which section of the IPC is applicable? The options are A. Section 480, B. Section 486, C. Section 482, or option D. Section 488. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, Section 486 will be attracted or used in the above scenario. Let us see what does Section 486 states. Section 486 talks about selling goods marked with a counterfeit property mark. This section states that whoever sells or exposes or has in possession for sale any goods or things with a counterfeit property mark affixed to or impressed upon the same, or to or upon any case, package, or other receptacle in which such goods are contained, shall, unless he proves, first, that having taken all responsible precaution against committing an offence against this section, he at the time of the commission of the alleged offence no reason to suspect the genuineness of the mark, and B. That on demand made by or on behalf of the prosecutor he gave all the information in his power with respect to the persons to whom he obtained such goods, or C. That otherwise he had acted innocently, be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 1 year, or with fine, or with both. Let's move on to the next question. That is, guarantees of which article of Constitution of India is violated by Section 95 of the CRPC? The options are A. Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution of India, B. Article 19(1)(b) of the Constitution of India, C. Article 1(g) of the Constitution of India, or D. None of them. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, none of the above articles are violated by Section 95 of the CRPC. The next question is, which of the following deals with the procedure in case of difference of opinion? The options are A. Section 350 CRPC, B. Section 287 of the CRPC, C. Section 365 of the CRPC, or option D. Section 370 of the CRPC. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, Section 370 of the CRPC deals with the procedure in case of difference of opinions. See, what does Section 370 talks about? Section 370 talks about the procedure in case of difference of opinion. This section states that where any such case is heard before a bench of judges and such judges are equally divided in opinion, the case shall be decided in manner provided by Section 392. The next question is, A. With 6 others committed the defenses of rioting, grievous hurt, and assaulting a public servant, endeavouring in discharge of his duty, as such to suppress the riot. Applying Section 220 of the CRPC, choose the correct option given below. The options are A. A may be separately charged and convicted of offences under section 147, 322 and 149 of the IPC. B. A may be separately charged with or convicted of offences under section 147, 323 and 150 of the IPC. C. A may be separately charged with and convicted of offences under section 147, 324 and 151 of the IPC. Or option D. A may be separately charged with and convicted of the offence under sections 147, 325 and 152 of the IPC. The correct answer to this question is option D. That means in the above scenario, applying section 222 of the CRPC, the sections that will be applicable will be: A may be separately charged and convicted of the offence under sections 147, 325 and 152 of the IPC. Let's move on to the next question, which is which of the following deals with appeals from order under section 446 of the CRPC? The options are A. Section 286 of the CRPC, B. Section 449 of the CRPC, C. Section 388 of the CRPC, or option D. Section 500 of the CRPC. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, section 449 of the CRPC will be applicable with appeals from order under section 446 CRPC. Understand what does section 499 states. Section 499 states appeal from the order under section 446. This section states that all order passed under section 446 shall be appealable. First, in the case of an order made by the magistrate to the session judge, and second, in case of an order made by the court of session to the court to which the appeal lies from order made by such court. The next question is, under section 320 clause 1 CRPC for adultery, which section of the IPC is applicable? The options are A. Section 490, B. Section 468, C. 495, or option D. Section 497. The correct answer to this question is option D. That means to say, under section 320 clause 1 CRPC for adultery, the section 497 of the IPC will be applicable. See what does section 497 of the IPC states. Section 497 of the IPC talks about adultery. As per this section, whoever has a sexual intercourse with a person who is and whom he knows or has a reason to believe to be a wife of another man without the consent or the convenience of that man, such sexual intercourse not amounting to the offence of rape is guilty of offence of adultery and shall be punished with the imprisonment of either term for a term which may extend to 5 years, or with a fine, or with both. In such case, the wife shall not be punished as an abettor. The next question is, when does section 97 CRPC comes into operation? The options are A. When the person is wrongfully confined, B. When the person is proclaimed offender, C. When there is obscene publication, or option D. Both A and B. The correct answer to this question is option A. That means to say that section 97 of the CRPC comes into operation when a person is wrongfully confined. The next question is, which of the following states that no appeal shall lie from any of the judgment of the order of the criminal court unless otherwise provided? The options are A. Section 286 CRPC, B. Section 287 CRPC, C. Section 388 of the CRPC, or option D. Section 372 of the CRPC. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is section 372 of the CRPC will be attracted and will apply in the situation where there is no appeal shall lie from any of the judgment of the order of the criminal court unless otherwise provided. The last question for the day is, Akanksha is accused of disobeying a direction of the law with an intent to save Sonam from punishment as per section 213 of the CRPC. Which of the following options are correct? The options are A. The charge must set out the disobedience charged. B. The charge must set out the law infringed. C. Both A and B. And D. None of the above. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, both A and B will be attracted as per section 213 CRPC. That means to say the charge must be set out the disobedience charged, and the charge may be set out the law infringed. Thank you all for listening to this video till the end and grasping some basic knowledge about CRPC. Thank you.